What does Queen of Pop, Madonna, and Giannis Antetokounmpo have in common, Michael?
Oh, that's a tough one. You're talking one of the most famous recording artists of all time and the Greek Freak, right? One of the most prominent basketball players. Um, well, she doesn't play basketball and he doesn't sing. Uh, is it they both have an accent, or Madonna doesn't have one of those anymore? I don't really know.
You're so funny. No, it's not the accent, but it's something that no one would have guessed maybe a decade ago. Madonna and Giannis both are very interested in women's soccer. And in this week's episode of Finance of Football, we're going to dive in and discuss it. Let's find out together. I'm the Athletics women's soccer reporter, Asli Pelit.
And I'm veteran sports journalist Michael LoRé. Welcome to Finance of Football.
It was interesting earlier this week. One of my coworkers, the great writer Megan Faringa, wrote about Madonna as she was spotted in a game between Chelsea women and Tottenham's girls team. Her two daughters, the twin daughters, are now playing for the Spurs under 14 academy team. And she was in the stadium cheering for them and even posted on her Instagram. So a huge opportunity for women's soccer to be under spotlight. When a superstar like Madonna talks about it, people talk about it, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. We've seen a lot of athletes, celebrities, and other folks get involved in the game of soccer, and having someone of Madonna's stature, having her shine a spotlight on women's soccer and women's youth soccer is absolutely massive because, you know it better than anybody else, so that the gap between men's soccer and women's soccer at the professional level, and especially at the amateur level and at the youth level, is night and day. So hopefully this helps bring some more eyeballs to it. And, who knows, maybe create some more investment opportunities and opportunities for folks who want to help, support the women's game like we're seeing Madonna do here as she cheers on her daughters.
Talking about investments, the reason I mentioned Giannis is because he joined the ownership group of Chelsea Women, which includes the Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, who bought a 10% minority stake in the team, valuing the club at approximately $265 million, which makes the team the most valuable women's soccer team in the world, surpassing Angel City FC.
Exactly. And it goes back to the conversation we've had probably every other episode is it NWSL or is it WSL, right? And it's this, transatlantic battle, and now having even further investment and more eyeballs on Chelsea women, with Giannis's interest and investment. Does that lure more US stars and international stars who would prefer to play for Chelsea women as opposed to coming to the NWSL? So I think it's very interesting. And, you mentioned Alexis Ohanian. He was one of the investors and one of the founders, if I'm not mistaken, of Angel City FC.
Totally.
And they, a lot of those folks, they sold to Bob Iger, of Disney fame here. And, Alexis certainly not, resting on his laurels and sees kind of the next opportunity. He's obviously been a massive supporter and proponent of, women's sports and equality in sports. Anyone who's married to Serena Williams better be. And now he's raising the flag here at Chelsea and has, like I said, the Greek Freak standing beside him. He's probably, looking up at him because Giannis is
Totally.
a big boy.
And Giannis is not the only American, athlete, um, celebrity athlete investing in English soccer. I know you covered a story earlier. JJ Watt, he invested in Burnley. We know that Tom Brady has an investment in Birmingham, and even Snoop Dogg invested in Swansea City. But it doesn't end there because, there are a lot of NBA players investing also. Kevin Durant, right? He invested in PSG and then also Gotham FC. But I think when another athlete, a star athlete, invests in a club, it just makes cross promotion so much easier because you're already a sports fan, you're already following this athlete, and suddenly, you saw that this athlete is now putting his money into a women's soccer club, you know, you may be the fan of an NBA team, but in an NWSL or a WSL team, it doesn't take anything from your fandom. If anything, it adds to your, portfolio of sports that you're following, which makes it really, I think, easy to grow a fan base, which women's sports still desperately needs.
Yeah, and it's easy for the athlete, right? Like we've seen LeBron James, who's been an investor in Liverpool for over a decade, you know, do the NBA pregame, walk out, and he's wearing a Liverpool jersey, and it's just instant branding. It's so easy, and these athletes have such a great fan base already. So now, if it's, oh yeah, I like Giannis. I know there's talks about potentially trading him from the Bucks and him going elsewhere, but whether or not you're a Bucks fan or you're a Giannis fan, maybe now
Hmm.
you start to follow Chelsea women a little bit because you now have that connection, like you said, and look at the ecosystem that Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney have built up at Wrexham, both on the men's side and the women's side. That they very much it's the different brands, the aviation gin and some of the other brands that they have started and they have created are now their front of kit sponsor and all that. So it's like these athletes can really use their star power to help shine an even
Hmm.
brighter spotlight on these clubs, on the all the history and the tradition that these clubs have that maybe in London you're familiar with if you're a Chelsea fan, but maybe in Illinois, you're not, but now all of a sudden you're going to start paying attention. So it's a great opportunity. And you mentioned JJ Watt at Burnley. He's someone I was fortunate to speak to a couple years ago about his investment, and he said it kind of fills this adrenaline void that he didn't have anymore after he had retired. And he's
Hmm.
as tough as it gets, right? In the NFL, you always see the videos and photos. He's got the cut on his nose and the blood, and the guy was just an absolute beast. And he can't do that anymore. So where do these athletes get that same feeling? And it's through the excitement of watching a soccer team that they're invested in. But
Yeah.
with that, you have to build trust, right? Because how anything is, right? If foreign investment comes in, whether it's the Qatari investment group or PIF or it's American owners or whoever comes into your neighborhood club, no matter how big or how small, you need to gain trust, right? And JJ Watt was very frank. He told me, I know how seriously these supporters take it, and I know they can see through the bullshit. To be honest with you, they can tell if you're actually all in or just along for the ride, slapping your name on it and hoping to wear a kit one day and act like you're part of the club. So I think, you know, what Rob and Ryan have built at Wrexham is definitely the playbook to see them put their money where their mouth is and really get behind these clubs and not only do it because it's a nice thing. No, it's a good business investment and the opportunity is there, right? Giannis, posted on social media when he announced his investment. He said, Chelsea's history speaks for itself. And I'm excited to contribute to the future by supporting continued growth and impact in women's sport. This is about ambition, legacy, and pushing the game to new heights up the Chels. So, he's not sitting here just doing it, throwing money behind it, saying, okay, what's my return investment, right? He clearly
Hmm.
is excited about this or has some really good PR people who drafted up some good, words for him. But, I like to think that he's very excited about this opportunity and is going to do whatever he can again, based on his schedule as a current NBA superstar to promote this team and just really, again, promote women's sports.
This is not his first investment in sports, by the way. He has invested in Milwaukee's Brewers, the baseball team, Nashville SC, and also Los Angeles Golf Club. I think as an active player throughout his career, supporting and investing in sports also shows like the way a lot of pro athletes are doing these days. They know the value of sports teams. They know how the valuations go up, and they know how they can be that value add to their investment so that the investment eventually grows, like by attaching their name. So it's win-win for everyone, and I think it works almost every time. Let's go dive into this week's World Cup date.
Todd Lyons, the acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, more commonly known as ICE, told a congressional committee on February 10th that his agency is allegedly, quote, a key part of the overall security apparatus for the World Cup. Lyons was testifying publicly for the first time since the deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy at the hands of ICE agents in Minnesota. And he said, quote, ICE, specifically Homeland Security Investigations, is a key part of the overall security apparatus for the World Cup. We are dedicated to securing that operation, and we are dedicated to the security of all of our participants as well as visitors.
Hmm.
Listen, ICE's presence and the way they're going about things, I'm not trying to get political, obviously causing a lot of issues in the United States. And we're even seeing it abroad where their presence at the Olympic Games in Milano Cortina is causing plenty of stir, right? There's protests there. We saw a protest, on February 8th outside of the Super Bowl as well too,
Here.
ice out and all of those things. So he's not backing down on this. We know there's going to be millions of people from all around the globe coming to North America for the World Cup. Tons of people needing temporary visas, all that kind of stuff like that. But, my biggest concern is it doesn't send a welcoming message to the rest of the world. Hey guys,
Exactly.
come here.
I have a lot of friends talking about this, and I'm here in Argentina. I was just talking to some people who actually won tickets to come to the US. And the discussion was, what should we come? Should, like they're asking me my opinion, my perspective on like how dangerous it is for a tourist to come and walk around. Would they get in trouble? Do they have to carry their passports around? Like there are a lot of question marks, right? When you're coming, spending thousands of dollars to be in the US to follow your team. Yet, like, do you have to always look behind you and like, over the shoulder to see if you're about to be kidnapped or at least questioned by some masked, man who from the videos they're watching, the world is watching on social media as these unfortunate events, devastating events are happening when they're killing people, abusing children, and like hurting innocent American citizens. When you watch that as a foreigner, everybody's like, sort of taking a step back to reevaluate their decision to come and follow their team.
Yeah, exactly. It's sad and scary, right? Like if American citizens are being treated this way, like you said, imagine you're coming from anywhere else on the planet to watch your favorite nation or your favorite player, and you do probably have to worry about your own safety and that of your family. And it's very unfortunate. So we'll see what happens over the next few months as things transpire in the lead up to the World Cup. But at this point, ICE is apparently going to be part of the security for the World Cup.
We'll see what's going to happen and how it's going to impact ticket sales, and or ticket prices in general. And I think that is the next topic we should talk about because finally the random selection draw tickets closed recently, and everybody's asking, "What now? Like, if I didn't get it, how do I get a ticket?" Like, our options are resellers, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it was the random selection draw for the World Cup ended. People were alerted via email whether or not their bid was successful or not. Unfortunately, mine was unsuccessful.
How
And
much did you bid, by the way? Tell me a little bit about what did you do? Like, what did you put as a price to follow US or whoever you wanted to follow?
I kind of just went all out, thinking maybe if I give a big number, that they'll be like, "Wow, this guy's willing to spend a lot of money." So I think I put down for like 10 matches or something. Because again, I figure they're not going to give me all 10 matches; just give me one or two. But I got zero. So here we are. So there's good news
Do
and
you
there's
know
bad.
anyone who has it, by the way? Have you ever met anyone who said, I won?
I do, yeah, yeah. There's a few guys,
Okay,
a few folks from work who just got some from their random draw. So good for them, but they're not
good for
me,
them.
so not good for me. But there is a silver lining. There is a fourth and final ticket phase, potentially in April. FIFA is being a little vague about exactly when it is or what tickets will be available or how many, but it will be in the spring, and it's basically going to be a first come first serve to try to get tickets. So good luck with that. I feel that's going to be even less of a chance. Um, than doing a random selection draw because there's going to be, the bots are going to be out in full force as much as they say they're not. And yeah, it's going to be very tough. And then, like you said earlier, you're kind of left up to the secondary market and the resale, which prices are going to be even higher than they are on the primary market for tickets. So at this point, you know, let's hope we get invited, or we'll just watch from home.
It's so funny. My experience from Club World Cup last year. So I met a group of people who waited till the last minute and got tickets for $29 ahead. The ticket prices dropped so much because I guess whoever couldn't sell the tickets decided to like sell it and get rid of it immediately. So they got um $29 tickets and watch a quarterfinal, nosebleed seats, but nevertheless, they get to see Real Madrid play against Chelsea, which I think we might see a lot of, especially if maybe the teams are not like maybe the most, popular ones, or who knows, maybe like a surprise team that doesn't have a huge following in the US for some reason. Like if you could just hop around and just go to the stadium kind of situation.
Yeah, who knows? Or maybe if we do get a Cinderella story like Morocco in 2022, every single Moroccan is going to be like, I need to make it my life goal, to go to this
Mhm.
match because we don't know when the end is potentially going to be. So, yeah, if we get a Cinderella story, this summer, you can have every single person from Uzbekistan say, I got to go to this round of 16 match because this is the best we've ever done. So, yeah, I think the World Cup is just a different animal. I don't think there's going to be $29 tickets, unfortunately. Maybe $29 fan festival tickets, but not to attend any
Oh,
matches.
they are 29 a
Um,
match, by the way. I
yeah.
show you. My friend was trying to buy FanFest tickets 2 weeks ago, and he sent me the screenshot for a 3-day pass. It was $270.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's not nothing.
Well, I'll just be enjoying the tournament from my couch for free.
Finance of Football comes to you from the Frequency Machine Podcast Network. Hit us up on Instagram and YouTube at Finance of Football Pod for more football business and our enlightened opinions. Or search Finance of Football on LinkedIn and Facebook. This episode was produced by co-hosts Michael LoRé and Asli Pelit. It was edited by Ryan Hammond. Mixing and mastering by Julian Kwasniewski. Our theme music is by Hatamitsunami. Our show is executive produced by Ryan, alongside Stacy Book and Avi Glajansky for Frequency Machine. Find more about Finance of Football at frequencymachine.com. Follow us on YouTube at Finance of Football and listen anywhere you get podcasts. Please like and subscribe. Help us reach more people. We love you for it.